Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Scope. And now, here are your hosts, Jared, Adam, and Shane.
Hello, hello. Jared, Adam, and Shane in the house for episode 257. Your Complete Culture Cast. Yes, this is The Scope. Full power, back together.
It's amazing that we managed to pull this off
Did you call it
in the summer months.
Complete Culture Cast.
I had no idea.
We've been saying that for literally months.
CCC.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Trying to make it work, trying to make it roll off the tongue.
I feel like that time it worked very well.
I think you're definitely in the zone now.
I'm catching it.
You're catching it. Catching the wave.
It's good that
Cowabunga, dude.
we're together. We are Voltron, reformed. We can form the head with Adam here.
3 white guys, Voltron.
Jared and my last show was just like Voltron running around with a left foot and then
It's crazy.
a
It's
right
like that-
arm and torso.
There was actually a storyline in the season 2 of the Netflix series where they could not form Voltron because one of the lions was missing. So it's very much like that.
Yeah. Pidge actually had a bad case of stomach flu.
Yeah.
From some Voltarian Meat Burgers.
That's not a thing, is it?
It totally is.
All right.
The Voltarian Meat Burger.
We'll go with it.
Adam, you're back. We are 1/3 of the way through summer, which almost makes me want to vomit.
I know. This is July 1st right here as we record.
But at least we're not like in school. You know that feeling when you were in like we have to work. Like summer's fine,
summer's
and good.
And
But
I don't really like summer that much, so I'm fine.
yeah.
I'm fine with it passing. Sooner we get to fall, the better. in
I
my
remember
opinion.
as a kid being when I hit July 1st.
Yeah.
I was like depressed.
Already?
Like, my schools didn't even end until like the 20th of June.
Really?
Oh my God!
But
It's terrible.
Yeah.
When did you
Is that
start?
some weird East
Labor
Coast
Day.
Virginia business?
no, Labor Day.
That's why Adam's so smart. He's got an extra month of schooling, and he's got 12 or 13 extra months of schooling compared to
guess
us.
so. Yeah.
We
But
were out. My school was always out at the end of May
Yeah,
because we
Oh,
could not
yeah.
afford to have a fuller schedule because
Yeah.
we're a small school, St. Anthony, Minnesota.
Sure.
Sadly, in the news recently for very, very sad things.
Well, we won't get into that because this is a happy show.
But yeah, no. So we went Labor Day to end of May, and so we always hoped. Well, I mean, I guess the faculty hoped that there was never too many snow days because otherwise we would have to add days to the end of the calendar. Because
just the worst.
That would stink.
But that never really happened while I was there. So
I will mention that when I was in 7th grade, we missed a week of school from an ice storm, and they were trying to figure out what to do with the school year. And then 2 weeks later, we missed another week of school because of an ice storm.
Wow.
And they had to extend the school day for our county by 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Every day. So
This is a daily thing.
All the buses were screwed up.
yeah. But it was for every school, so even the shared buses. But that was way better.
Was this the
That was smart.
inspiration for Ang Lee's film, The Ice Storm?
I think so. That's
Okay.
my understanding.
How much extra work did you guys actually get
Well,
done?
that
in
was
a
the best
half
part
hour?
because 7th grade is middle school, so that's 5 extra minutes per class. So that's nothing.
It's
right?
a waste. It's an utter waste of time.
It's like that's way better than them extending the actual
Government
year.
bureaucracy must be smashed. Government has no role in the lives of its citizens.
Hey, we'll talk
Wow.
about we'll
Alex
talk about
Jones in the house right here.
we'll talk about him later.
Well, it's interesting we're talking about being children's because I wanted to ask you, Adam, did you ever go to summer camp? I'm sure
I did.
I'm sure Jared
1
didn't
year.
because we were poor and we had frugal parents.
No,
and
I mean the closest I got was like a summer. It wasn't really a camp, but it was definitely like a week or two of every day you go to a park, like Parks and
Sure.
Recreation,
like a
and you-
day, like a day
camp.
camp.
a
type
day
of thing.
camp. Sure.
Yeah, I never.
My favorite part was the bicycle rodeo. We got to do all kinds of events on our bikes.
It's like you had to like zigzag through cones.
Yeah.
perhaps.
It's like a longest wheelie thing. There was like a cross country race,
That sounds fun.
It does sound
which I
fun.
won actually.
No,
As a young chap.
Your first success.
I went to
Maybe
a
only.
sleepaway camp for I don't know how long it actually was. I
Was
think it
this
was 9 or
inspiration
10.
for the hit film The Sleepaway Camp or Sleepaway Camp?
Sleepaway Camp.
Everything in Adam's life has been turned into a motion picture.
It's almost like I might be making this up.
Yeah.
It was, but it was not a Jewish sleepaway camp. So it's
So let me ask you, was it more common on the East Coast that all kids went to camp?
I don't think so. It was the only year I did this.
Okay, so
and I hated it.
Yeah, did you not like it at all?
Did
you have any
not-
friends there, or
No.
were you all on your own?
It was me. It was yeah. My mom and stepdad were probably. I think they were just like annoyed or tired of me or whatever.
Or all of it.
It was
wrapped into one.
their plan to like just get rid of me for. I feel like it was 9 weeks, but it was probably 1 week. But
Every day felt like 9 days.
Yeah.
Is this more like of an East Coast thing again? Because it's like it's sort of a staple of coming of age youth films is the camp, the summer camp. Go away to camp, and just I don't think that was a thing around here.
I had one friend that went to camp, and it was a very exotic thing. I was always sad that he left because I would be sitting at home watching daytime television.
Well, I know
all day long.
I know
for
Al
weeks.
Franken went to day camp multiple years. He talks about it in his new book. So maybe here it was, or his family wasn't rich. I don't know. Maybe it was a.
it just
Could
feels
be a
to me-
religious thing too, because I was not. I
sure.
did not. I didn't go to school.
It just feels like a New England thing
Church,
to me.
they call that.
Like New York, New
Yeah.
Jersey, all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, people talk. So I ask you because
The setup.
my kid,
It's all a setup.
my kid just got back from camp.
Yeah.
A week sleepaway camp, and it's strange how her and her friends, a lot of them go to these camps. Like they just don't understand that it's almost like a luxury.
Sure.
But we sort of turned the tables on Audrey on this one because
Ooh, did you turn her room into an exercise suite?
we stripped everything out. She said, "Where's my stuff?" And we said, "Well, we needed the extra space for my Star Wars toys."
Yeah, well, that's fair.
So
Who brings home the bacon?
You're getting
This guy
older.
right here.
You're getting older, sweetie,
Yep.
and we just don't have the room for you
we do not
anymore.
have the room.
Sorry.
So last year,
Get
Audrey
a job, buy a house. You have a place to live.
Audrey went to a YMC camp. This year, she's going to that same camp in a couple of weeks. But a lot of her friends went to a different camp, so we signed her up for that one too for a week. But it happened to be a Bible camp.
Did you know this ahead of
Oh,
time?
we did know about it.
Okay.
But so I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. I have no problem with religion. I have no problem with anybody believing whatever they want to. I might be wrong. You might be right. It doesn't really matter as long as you're not judgmental of other people. And
This feels like an inspiration for a Bill Joel song.
I think it does. You might be right. I may be crazy. But I will tell you this about religion. I don't really care. Growing up, I had a lot of friends who I would classify like the Bible banger friends. Very, very nice people. I think they were always secretly trying to get me to go to church with them. Like I was like a mark. I was an easy target. But I was always very good about deflecting, like, hey, we should go to our church. We got this cool surfer inspirational movie. That was always the thing.
Right.
That was always the play.
And you were like, I've got diarrhea.
Yeah,
again.
like, I'm not feeling well. But I think I actually did see it one time.
Wow, what a champion.
I was very good at the pivot. So I was concerned about Audrey because she does not have a lot of exposure to religion. That being said, we heard a lot of good things about this camp, that it wasn't too bad in terms of the preachiness. But
Yeah.
you're going into it. You know that there's going to be time for Bible study and that sort of thing. And I'll give you Audrey's connection with God. When she was about 4 or 5, my sister, who she has a niece or a kid who is my niece. We went to a
She
baptism.
may also have a niece.
We went to her baptism. She was young, so like I said, Audrey was probably 6, and it was it's strange because my sister doesn't go to church, so I think they were doing it more for her dad and stepmom who are very religious, which is fine. Excuse me. So we were at this church a Saturday afternoon. Nobody there. We were kind of in like the waiting room. I don't know, like a.
That's a thing that churches have.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. It was just like the
lobby,
like a lobby, but it wasn't really the lobby. It was in the church. Maybe they set up chairs for
the green room.
banquets. It's a green room, and so it was just the pastor who was in there talking to my sister, her mom and stepbrother, and then Audrey, Carrie, and me. And there's this giant picture of Jesus. Probably 8 feet tall would be my guess, floor to ceiling practically. And Audrey walks over to the picture and she points at it and screams at it. She goes, "Hey, Ma, who's that guy?" And Audrey and Carrie and I just look around and who's that guy? We're like, "That's Jesus, honey." And that's really,
I mean, not literally Jesus. That's a representation. He was really 12 feet tall, but they couldn't fit him in the building at real
extremely
height, so.
embarrassed. So you can sort of tell that church not a big thing in our life. We have some friends that they are, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So I was really concerned about Audrey's Bible experience and if she would be Bible camp experience and see if she could kind of navigate that weird waters. Like if someone starts talking to you about God and, what you believe in life and death and the devil, how she could maneuver herself around there. And I think she did.
There's two options. She either ostracized herself forever by saying something bad, or she came back and she's like, the Lord.
Yeah. That's what I was concerned about. But, the one thing she said was, they have a lot of, this one actually hurt a little bit. She goes, they have a lot of cool songs that are about Jesus, like cool rock songs. And I don't even care. They're really good songs. Like, first of all, there's no contemporary Christian pop that's good. Let's be honest with it right there.
All
Maybe
the DC Talk fans are deleting
DC Talk, not in our house. Amy Grant, if it's the pop Amy Grant, yes. But the other stuff, no. Michael W. Smith, be gone.
Wow.
But she
obviously you have not been going to the Christian clubs, otherwise known as the mega churches, where they have live bands on Sunday.
Yeah, well, they love to jam out. I hear they play nothing but Pearl Jam at those things.
Wow.
That's the story.
Okay.
No, but the only thing that sort of made me sad was, they were talking about the devil and dying, and it made me very sad that I don't know what's going to happen in my life. What's going to happen? And so we're trying to explain to her that, the Bible has a lot of good lessons in it, but then again, there's, aspects that people don't pay attention to. So do you completely invest in that book, or, what's real, what isn't? And at the end, she came out okay. I was pleasantly surprised, and again, I'm not offended by any of the conversion therapy that they might try, which they didn't. Just because we knew it's like, you don't go into the lion's den thinking you're not going to get bit.
Right.
That's
she
what I
didn't.
think.
She didn't come home and burn all of her mixed material clothing.
Whoa.
She did not.
No.
She did not. We did have to send her with a Bible because another one of her friends went last year, and her parents don't go to church. And apparently they had quiet Bible time, like reading time, just like an hour, and you can do whatever you want to do. But all the kids had a Bible, and this girl didn't, so she just sort of sat there. So we had to scramble to get a Bible, and then
Question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you carve out the interior pages with a space large enough for her iPod Touch?
I think that she might have done that. Actually, I think we carved out a space and then we put in the Quran, really to change things. No, we did not. Audrey said she did read the first 2 pages of the Bible. She goes, yeah, that part where God's like making things. Yeah, I read that. That was kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. So she's back, and now she will be going to her non-Bible camp in just a couple of weeks.
That's what you think.
Yeah, maybe she's going to sneak back there.
Today, everything's a Bible camp.
It is so crazy, though, that, this summer or this spring, Audrey has gone on almost a 2-week Mexico vacation. She's gone to summer camp, and the best that I did when I was that age was not burn the microwave popcorn that I got for a treat during the summertime. That was it. Or the fry magic. What are those things called? The French fries you could cook up in the microwave, Jared. Yep. That was my big summer treat.
What a big waste of materials. Like every fry has its own individual compartment. What a joke. That was back in the days, the halcyon days, when we thought we could cook anything in the microwave with the right technology, just like the oven. Minutes.
I'm sure I've talked about this before, and this will be my last tangent before we get to Adam's news and the rest of the show. They had those fry magic things where you could do the French fries. I think they had burger ones, but at the height of that popularity, they had a shake. Where you literally literally had like a frozen block of ice cream. Hey, you could make a shake in the microwave. So what do? You just put the shake in the microwave and you melt your ice cream. But you got a shake, Jared. You remember that?
Did you at least have to use the defrost cycle? I don't remember.
Those microwaves didn't have defrost cycles. I mean, those things were kicking out like 50 billion cc's, whatever, megatons of radiation. You had to stand in the other room and you made that shake. It glowed.
I remember the shake, and I'm like, "There's no way this works."
And by the way, that was the official jump the shark of the microwave French fry movement because they disappeared very quickly.
Or were they onto something? Because when we have ice cream at home, I have to put Angela's bowl in the microwave for like 5 seconds to soften it up. She likes it a little soft. So she swirl it up.
She's got problems. That's all I'm going to say. Well, guys, we are back with episode 257 of The Scope. Everybody knows when we come back, it's all about Adam's news, so we'll be getting to that in a few minutes. And maybe a few Scope surprises along the way. Not really. So let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more Scope with Jared, Adam, and me, Shane Palmer Slam, right after this.
Hello, folks. It's July. We took June off for the most part, but we're back, and that means we need your money. Hey, if you want to support the show, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/thescopeshow. Pledge as little as $1 an episode. You can set a monthly cap or cancel anytime, but you're not going to do that, right? So Patreon lets you support creators directly. So get on over there, patreon.com/thescopeshow.
Scope.
Hey everybody, this is The Scope, and we are under it. And now it is time for Adam's News.
Hi. You guys want to talk about some news?
Adam is so used to me interrupting him, and I give Adam's news, and then I start talking right on top of Adam's news.
Yeah.
So I figured this time around, I'm going to let him.
Let's
do
talk
what he
about
needs to do.
the thing that's on the tip of everyone's tongue.
Everybody's thinking about
Everyone's
this.
talking about this. Everyone's getting ready for what are they doing on September 29th to procure themselves a SNES Classic.
Well, guess what, Adam?
What?
I've heard rumors that they're going to make way more of them, so everyone's going to get one. You get an SNES Classic. You get an SNES Classic. Jared gets one, even though he's got a hacked little Nintendo thing over there with a billion games. He's still getting one.
I'm tempted just because the Super Nintendo is like my favorite system.
Yeah.
It comes with two controllers.
Two controllers.
It's got Street Fighter on it.
with we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, I'm stepping on your.
It's got two wired controllers. How
Are they
long?
longer?
5 feet. So
2 extra feet.
2 extra feet. What a value. For only
That's
20
like 4 extra feet
for only
of wire.
$20 more and less games than the NES.
But you
Classic.
get an extra controller. The other one didn't.
But
How much
these
did the
games-
extra controllers cost on these?
$1,000.
Yeah, because nobody could get them, Jared.
Right.
Yeah.
So, are you guys excited?
So for the people
marginally.
for the people
Explain
that
it.
don't know what we're talking about, because there are Scope fans out there who've
Idiots.
never even heard of Nintendo.
How dare they?
It's time to educate.
Nintendo.
Start from the Nintendo
sure.
card games.
Oh, gosh.
Go to the very beginning, before they made video games. Early 1900s.
No. So, have you heard of Pachinko?
I have.
Okay.
That's that game where you just sit around in front of metal balls and smoke a lot.
What?
Yes, it is, but also that's not what we're talking about.
Oh,
Oh.
All right. Anyway, Nintendo, the Nintendo Fun Corporation.
correct.
They are making a new console,
Mm-hmm.
but it's an old console.
It's not the Switch Pro.
It's not the Switch Pro.
They're
or the
already
Switch
getting to
2. No, this is the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. So it's a follow-up to last year's Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition.
Everybody wanted that thing.
Everybody wanted it. And then Nintendo said, "Hey, we're done. We're done making it."
Is it a dick move on Nintendo's part?
I don't know. No, it's not a dick move. They would,
Jared, is it a dick move?
What's that?
Nintendo's anti-production of the NES Classic. Did
It
they
is-
know what they were doing?
I mean, I think they knew what they were doing. Their whole point is to get Nintendo back in people's minds as in a positive way after sort of the Wii U failing. So along with the Switch, they're also reminding people, hey, this is our rich history of gaming.
They've
Look
got
at these
more
fun
market
things.
cap, more market value than Sony right now in Japan.
Crazy. Whoa.
It's crazy.
That's true. That's a true story, guys.
True story. But yeah, the fact that they could have made so many more of these, and obviously there was demand. I'm not saying you don't make it limited, but I think that they probably underestimated how much people wanted. And
Everybody that wants one should get one. That's what I say.
I agree.
Wow.
Adam, okay, now
I don't know if I agree with that.
Now well, guess what?
What?
Free society. We can think what we want. Tell us more about the system.
Well, it's going to be $80.
Okay.
It's going to be available on September 29th, 2017.
So that's coming up.
Sure. I mean, it's getting closer than it's going away.
Right.
And it's got 2 controllers and 21 games. Well, 20 games, and then one you have to do something to unlock it.
Masturbate.
Right now, on command. Is that what you're asking me?
Wow.
All right. You want to talk about some of these games?
Of course.
All right. Super Mario World.
It's great.
Did you play all the way? Let's as you name them, we'll say, did we beat that game?
Okay. I did, yes.
I did not.
Yes.
You
Complete.
didn't beat that
I was
game.
more of a Genesis guy. I played it, but I don't think I ever beat it.
Super Mario Kart, the original.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Didn't really
Played
play
it.
Wow. Really?
I didn't get to Mario Kart until 64.
Yeah, that makes sense because you had 4-player easily. You didn't have to multi-tap. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Beautiful game.
Never played it.
Beat it.
You've never played that game?
I don't know if I ever played it any more than 5 minutes.
I beat that game 100%. Everything.
That game, it's insane.
Okay.
That game is long. You have to know where to use the stupid magic mirror in certain places to go to the negative world, whatever that thing's called.
you have to go to the negative
Yeah.
world? Ooh.
Oh yeah.
How do you learn where the mirror? How do you?
Nintendo Power? I don't know.
That game is the one time I actually called the Nintendo Power Hotline
Really?
for a tip.
And what did
because
they
there was
say?
like one thing I couldn't get to. It was like the last thing. And it was the thing where you actually had to like do a speed dash into the wall and rebound off of it to get over a gorge or a wall or something like that. And like I never would have figured that out, but got me to where I needed to be to get the last thing I needed.
And was that a free call, as you recall?
I think so.
I don't think those were
maybe
free.
maybe
They
it was
were
paid.
free for a while. There was a
Were
big
they?
article about that.
Who knows?
We've also got F-Zero.
I
Love
played
that
like
game.
that game.
Played the hell out of it.
Captain Falcon and his
Of course,
buddies.
his merry crew.
Super Metroid.
I owned it. I didn't beat it.
I don't know if I beat it.
I don't know if
I like
beat
that game
one.
a lot,
Yeah,
though.
it's fun.
Star Fox.
Played it.
Played it, beat it.
Beat it. It wasn't a very long game.
No.
No.
Well, if you didn't think that was a long game, get ready because if you get the achievement, in quotes, for beating the first level of Star Fox, you unlock the never before released Star Fox 2.
Wait, you have to beat the first one to get the
You have to
second
beat
one?
the first level of the first one to unlock
not that hard.
Star Fox 2. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's set the bar a little higher.
So the ROM for Star Fox 2 has been available on the internets for a long, long time. The story goes that Nintendo completed it, did all the translations for a worldwide release, and then as the 32-bit competitors were starting to come out and the N64 was nearing release, they said, we shouldn't release this.
Yeah, it took too long to develop, and
Yeah.
by that time PlayStation was out, and it was like, man, this is going to be kind of dated, and are we really going to ask people to spend probably $80 on a game? No.
Right. Tangent, Star Fox was a huge demo game in the Toys R Us era. Like you'd have it running on your little Nintendo system in the aisle, and people that was a fun game to go sneak out and play. Like when you were straightening the aisles or you're on your
yeah.
break, people would go do that. That worked there.
So Star Fox 2, probably shorter than Star Fox 1
Yeah.
by most accounts of people that have played
Yeah.
the ROM that's been out there. That's obviously not the final version of it, but probably has most of the actual gameplay.
My
But
prediction is once these systems are out, the people will figure out how to get that ROM, the final game, out of the system, and it will show up online.
Sure.
For people for their retro pies and whatnot. I almost guarantee it.
some other games, we've got Castlevania 4,
Okay,
I was never a Castlevania fan.
Donkey Kong Country,
I played that.
Super
Played
Punch-Out.
a little bit of that.
I like Super Punch-Out.
I beat the hell out of the original Punch-Out, but Super Punch-Out didn't play as much.
Yoshi's Island.
Didn't play it.
Didn't really play it.
Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. That's a great game.
Never
If
played
you,
it.
that is a phenomenal game. I think that was the first Super Mario RPG type game, and it has kind of an active passive combat system. That's really cool.
Was Square involved in that? I think they were.
I think they were, yeah. Contra 3, Secret
Played
of
that.
Mana, Earthbound,
Secret of Mana.
Super
Mm.
Golden
Are they going to
Ghosts.
deal with all the slowdown that these games had?
I
Like,
mean, if they
Contra had such
all
bad
of these
slowdown,
games,
Jared.
all of
I
these
would think
games
that
did.
they'll.
R-Type, remember
better.
that? How slow that shooter would get?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gradius.
Radius.
We also get the best Street Fighter 2 edition Turbo.
Yep.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So that's exciting. Mega Man X.
Never played.
Final
Never really a
Fantasy
Mega Man fan.
3. Probably
I
missing
didn't. I played.
Earthbound.
I beat 2. I don't think I played 3. Otherwise known as Final Fantasy 6 in the rest of the world.
So
No Mortal Kombat 2?
no.
Mortal Kombat 2 was the better
The
one.
sweat one.
I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of games that are missing, and the rumor always with the original NES Classic was that they're going to have like expansions. Never happened. So I wouldn't expect that with this, and it just feels like, what'd you get? 30 games on the NES.
You got 30 for $60. Yep.
So now we're getting
21 for $80. But
Right.
two controllers
Two
and the
controllers.
aforementioned 4 extra feet total
I mean-
of controller.
I mean-
line.
I think the controller costs $15 or $20. So, I mean, you're getting less games, but the quality of games is pretty
quality
good.
are better. I just think there's some glaring omissions there.
Like, what would you
Well,
like
I mean,
to see?
most people are saying Chrono Trigger. Where's Chrono Trigger? If you
So-
got Final Fantasy 3, why not 2?
right. Well, and Secret of Mana. Like
Secret-
those
yeah.
are both Square games.
Yeah, Secret of Mana is nice because it's you co-op play.
Right.
You can have
Well,
two
it's
people
weird.
playing.
That's a 3-player game. If you can.
If you had the multi-tap,
but
yeah,
there's
but you're
no
not going to have the
way to do that here.
No,
So that's kind of
It's a bummer.
unfortunate.
you can just switch off though. That's
Yeah.
all.
So I guess the question is, will there be a classic N64?
Well, that's the thing. Like
It's a much more complicated controller.
that, and like that's not the thing that people hold as like near and dear to their hearts, like the SNES was.
There's
Like
a lot of good games though on the N64. That
a
you
lot
could
of
have.
Goldeneye,
Yeah,
Mario Kart.
yeah.
I think we're done.
My issue
Mario
with the
64. I mean, I know.
my
but,
issue with the
Mario
N64
Party.
is
uh,
it was a lot. There were a lot of great games at the time, a lot of fun. But I think you look at the games now, just like how they look, and it's like, we really like this.
Yeah.
I
Especially
mean, there's some that transcend that in gameplay,
Sure.
definitely.
Blast Core, Donkey Kong. Well, that one wouldn't be on there, but Donkey Kong Country.
But like, yeah, imagine on a 1080p or a 4K TV, those games are going to look.
They would look pretty
horrific.
rough. There's a lot of work that have to be done.
There's just something about the pixel-based Super Nintendo games that they still hold up. They still look good, even though you scale them up to a bigger size.
Well, we'll have to see what they do. That's the question. You know, I mean, if
Maybe a Game Boy Classic that you hold in your hand.
well, they had.
It's just a Game
You could
Boy.
play Game Boy on your TV. They had that adapter, so there's a lot of possibilities. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves, guys. We
At
haven't
least
even,
1 year ahead of ourselves.
we haven't even procured the new Nintendo system yet.
We're not going to be able to. There's no way they're going to make enough. They're going to make more, but that doesn't matter.
People
It's
got
Nintendo.
people are already scalping pre-orders on eBay
They
for
can't
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, they can't.
Where
keep
are
up
these?
with-
Who pre-ordered this thing? Who's
Nobody.
Pre-orders went up in the UK already.
Okay, and
So-
UK has the original
They have
Super
the
Famicom
the,
design.
Yeah, the Euro one. No, they have the Euro one where the colors of the controller match the colors of the switches.
Isn't the Japanese one was the same way, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but theirs is. I thought the Japanese one's the only one that looks like the Famicom, the Super Famicom, and then the Euro one looks like the American one, but they have the better colors.
Oh, I thought that it was.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
There's zero.
We'll
way to
never know
confirm
here.
any of
We'll
this.
have that ugly purple and gray
We
one.
definitely will.
Okay, give us some more news.
I like the purple and gray one. Shush.
Well, you're wrong. Let's start
All right,
with let's start with this the story about my favorite kind of alt.
What happened to Adam?
We lost Adam.
Go ahead.
My favorite alternative tale of Superman.
Go ahead.
And that is the possibility that Warner Brothers is looking for directors to helm the live action version of Red Sun.
So, for people that don't know, tell that story.
Red
What is
Sun is the idea that when Superman crash landed on Earth, he didn't land in Kansas. He landed in somewhere. I can't. Anyway, in Russia.
It's a big country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of land.
That's a great alt story, by the way.
yeah, I like.
It's a very clever idea.
Yeah. Well,
But
and it's like the Dark Knight because Batman's involved in it and everything too. So theoretically, Mark Millar, who wrote it
Right.
back in the 90s, 80s, I don't even know when it
it was 90s or 2000s.
Okay.
Early 2000s.
He's been hearing that Warner Brothers has been talking to a few various directors, and I guess Jordan Roberts, who directed Kong Skull Island,
Mm-hmm.
had actually pitched Warner Brothers for it about a year ago with his idea, and they said, no, we're not interested in it right now. So they had like a Twitter exchange, the two of them, because Millar wrote Skull Island or produced it or something. I don't know. Anyway, they were chatting on Twitter, and everyone was getting all hyped up about it. So Millard said he was contacted by some website that I'm pulling this from, and he said, I don't
Good
have
research.
anything concrete. I've got pals at Warner Brothers, but I haven't discussed anything with them. I'm just hearing this from other directors. There's always 50 conversations for every comic book movie that gets made, and as far as I know, this is something that is just at the conversation stage.
So would this be part of the Justice League?
I don't think so.
So this
right?
would just be like a Elseworlds type of story where
I would guess. I
DC
just love that. That's a good book.
DC does not have a problem mixing up a little bit like that, do they?
No, I guess not.
Yeah. Get your house in order and your main continuity first. That's what I say.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, they've done this for years. I mean, the TV, the CW universe is completely separate.
Their animated stuff
Gotham
is all over the
completely
place.
separate. You know, so I guess that's just how they roll.
That's how they roll. What else we got, Adam?
This is completely unrelated. I just like the story a lot. Guy Fieri,
We love him.
everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Has connections to the Twin Cities.
Yeah,
He does.
A lot of their production crew for his show.
Yep.
The original producer of the show, creator of the show, came from the Twin Cities.
You got it.
Diners, Drivers, and Dives.
He has admitted that his famous donkey sauce, it's just aioli.
Wow. I guess we're done with the scope. You get breaking news like that, you can't go on.
He's quoted as saying, if we just called it aioli, does that make it sexier? I mean, it's aioli. This goes back to the exact comment that I said from the beginning. It's about moderation. I called it donkey sauce because you have to make fun of it. It's a quintessential ingredient in so many aspects of food, yet probably not the most beneficial except for flavor. Probably the least beneficial, but it does have its place.
Sounds like he's sidestepping as a chef, doesn't he?
I think everyone can agree.
Well, that's a powerful
That's
number
all.
2 story, I tell you.
Oh, I didn't know we had to do them in order. How about this?
Okay.
You want to go back to movies for a second?
Wow us.
Just bring the hammer.
Edgar Wright,
Yeah?
Right.
director of the forthcoming Baby Driver.
And-
Oh,
and
forthcoming. It's in theaters.
And
Well, not all theaters, though, right? Is
All theaters.
full
I mean,
release?
it
it's
opened
out.
here, so
Yeah, I think it's out.
Okay.
The sequel to that movie, Donkey Sauce. Did you know that?
No, the sequel.
donkey sauce.
I thought
sequel to Baby
sequel
Driver is Donkey
is-
Sauce.
Wow.
No, it's Boss Baby.
Boss Baby, and then
'Cause
Donkey Sauce.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Baby's Day Out.
Maybe it's all
What's
just
after that?
it's a movie universe, the new one. So you're gonna do a Bond one, and now they're gonna do a Baby Driver /
Well,
Boss
after-
Baby /
After Universal
Donkey
had to
Sauce
ditch the
universe.
dark
I think
universe.
we're actually doing a show idea. Freeforming it right now, Jared. Create your own movie universe.
He says he'll never.
3 men and a baby, Jared. That would be part of that that shared universe.
I think any movie or TV show that deals with
Babies.
a non-traditional parenting structure
Yeah.
would be in the same.
2.5
universe.
Men.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
Alf.
Yeah, my 2 dads.
Elf would be much later in the, probably like the 4th sequel.
Okay.
The aliens come.
So
Eat all the cats.
Edgar Wright says he'll never watch Ant-Man. So you might remember that the original director of Ant-Man, which I thought was good, fine.
Yeah.
Not
Anthony
great.
Manford, Jared. That's his alter ego. Ant-Man.
This is a conversation Shane and I had over IOM yesterday where I learned that the Black Bolt's name was Blackager Boltagon. And I'm like, really? So we started just spitballing names. I'm like, that's like, mine was as if Daredevil's name was Darren Devilson. Like, come on.
And then I hit it out of the park with, Anthony Manson or something like that.
I like that.
What could I be? I'll be Ant-Man.
Oh, the 60s.
Okay, he says he'll never watch it because he calls it like choosing to watch your ex-girlfriend have sex. He also went on to say that
Well, maybe the relationship ended well, and this is
Yeah.
Who
maybe,
knows?
Maybe he's into that sort of thing. Who isn't?
He says he
trying to be sex positive
almost
here.
caught part of it on a flight earlier in the year. Someone sitting near him was watching it on their phone, but
they're
he
like-
he had to turn away.
Yeah. Look at this here. You're gonna. I want to sit next to him on a flight and make him watch this damn movie. I want to be the guy that sees his reaction.
He did say that he thought the best and specifically funniest part of Civil War was Paul Rudd.
Of course it was. It's Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
And he'll be great in the Infinity War movie as well.
Sure.
He will be great. Can you imagine him and Star-Lord hanging out?
Oh, just hilarious.
I mean, I cannot wait. It's gonna be great. Can't wait. Let's just think about that for a second.
In silence. Let's switch
That'll
over
be
to
all of our next episode of The Scope.
Just
just thinking in silence.
He's gonna sit there.
I mean, all the weeks that we
Yep.
missed, you can just imagine. That's mostly what they
Our
are.
next episode will be all like telepathy. We're just gonna shoot it into each other's brains, and we won't say a word for 45 minutes.
We'll stick with Marvel here, but we'll switch
not
over
next level
to
thinking. I like it.
switch over to Fox for a second. Did you know that Fox is planning on releasing at least 6 more Marvel movies in the next 4 years? How is that possible? What is going on?
Fox. What do we got on tap?
We know that
They're secret, aren't they?
they have. Let's see. The main X-Men series is struggling a little bit, but spin-offs like X-Men and Logan are still proving.
You mean X-Force?
What?
You said the main X-Men,
Yeah, series is struggling a little bit.
but you said spin-offs such as.
Deadpool and Logan.
No, you said X-Men.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Deadpool 2 has just started filming. Just started filming
Yeah.
this week, I think.
So
I'm pretty sure we know Logan's not coming back as another.
Yeah,
spin-off.
that's gone. It's gone.
interesting that we've had a Deadpool 2 teaser already, but the movie hadn't started filming.
I think that Fox is confused. Like, they think they have this great thing going,
Yeah.
and really all they have is Deadpool.
Right.
Really,
I mean,
that's
Logan,
all they have.
Logan did well.
Yeah, but
he's-
Logan is
Right. Yes.
it's a confused situation right now, to say the least.
Yep.
That took place in the future.
Right.
But she is going, the little Wolverine, like, where is she going to be? Because
Yeah.
they're going to want to bring her back. So is she going to time warp into the past, or are we just going to have
She can do that.
future mutants with
Well,
her? You know, it's crazy.
There's also the problem with that story. They all died. So
yeah,
if that's in the
she's
future,
the one that's alive,
Right.
and that's it, right?
Right. So I mean, even if they want to talk about, before then, there needs to be an event at some point in which Professor X kills some large amount.
I mean,
of
they've
mutants
completely written themselves into a corner
Yeah.
with all of these stories, or several corners.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
or they just call it a one-off, and we don't.
it's an
we don't care.
Elseworlds.
Right. Everything's an Elseworlds now.
Yeah, I don't get it.
There is no movie
yeah.
universe anymore. So they say that Fox will have 2 Marvel movies in 2019. That's next year. So like, what would that even?
it'll be-
that's 2 years, I guess.
2 years.
It'll be
Whatever.
Deadpool and New Mutants would be my guess, or the next X-Men or the next X-Men movie. One of those.
Okay.
One of those.
Yeah,
two.
because they're doing Dark Phoenix.
Jessica Chastain is rumored to play. Was it Ileandra from the Starjammers type?
Mm-hmm.
Intergalactic world. So.
All right.
Or
3
whatever her name is. Not
3 in
Ileana. That's
2020.
magic. I don't know. Whatever her name is.
3 more in 2020, and then 1 more in early 2021. But that's March. They have as the date right
Yeah.
now, so that probably means a summer one.
Those dates are fluid. Though.
I know,
I mean,
but-
they move around a lot. But
So-
what you're saying is that's a lot of movies.
So here's the thing: these movies don't have names yet, but from the dates included, we can discern that these don't include New Mutants, the Deadpool sequel, or X-Men: Dark Phoenix,
Why?
because we already know the dates for those, and they don't match up with any.
Maybe
of these.
they're moving those around.
Well, they haven't said that. However, we can guess one will be X-Force, one might be Deadpool 3. But even if we assume that the list includes a New Mutant sequel, another entry into the main X-Men series, and yet a Gambit movie that's never coming out, it still leaves one movie we don't know anything about.
Yeah, that Gambit movie kind of just fell off the planet, didn't it?
It probably should have, because I think it would have been a bad one.
Oh,
Sorry, Adam. Give us one.
wait, but here,
Okay.
what if Fantastic Four reboot? Maybe that's the one we can't account for.
I don't think it's there. Although, did you hear the rumor? I told Jared about this. For the rumor for the Fantastic Four reboot, which was circulating in the last couple of weeks, that it would be a kid-focused Fantastic Four movie that really wouldn't even feature Reed or Sue. It would be their kids with a little bit of Thing and Human Torch.
So a power pack
So yeah, I mean, it'd be like Fantastic Four, but from the kids' perspective.
wasn't Power Pack? Didn't that have the kid in there?
I think they did have at some point they had Franklin.
Yeah.
Franklin Richards, who is Reed and Sue's kid.
Yeah, Franklin Richards, and then
The daughter.
a bunch of power kids.
Yep. Yeah, there's a part of me that just hopes that Fox just leaves Fantastic Four alone. Eventually, it goes back to Marvel, but you don't even know the deal that they have. So, I always thought that if they didn't continue to make movies after a certain time,
Right.
it just automatically defaulted. But it may have been different for each movie studio. So,
Or I just wish they would like do what Sony did and come back, like be in the universe, but still be producing it. But you have to listen to what Marvel Studios says when it comes to stories.
yeah, I mean, really, the only thing you can hope for on the Fox side is that they continue to flounder creatively and financially with the X-Men movies. But
Right,
apparently they feel it's full strength ahead.
Yeah, and other than
full speed.
Apocalypse, I don't know that any of them have not done well. And even maybe even that one did well financially.
It
for
didn't.
them.
It didn't though.
Okay.
I mean, it was definitely underperformed.
Well, and
but I mean, it wasn't a flop.
Right.
and
But
the-
it's
the
showing a
third one
downward
didn't do
trend.
Well,
You keep putting Quicksilver scenes in there, they'll be okay.
Absolutely.
I guess so.
I think we've got that
So earlier on the episode, Jared was talking about one of his I don't know, what
His
would you call
favorites.
Alex Jones? Your
figured out.
like an idol,
His spirit animal.
spirit animal.
He's a bit of a mentor.
Okay.
No.
There's this website Quartz that did a study recently where they compared the products that are sold on the InfoWars store and Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop store, and found that they're basically selling the exact same thing, just to
Different audiences.
completely different audiences.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
You sellout.
So there's like a bunch of examples on the site itself, and it's funny because it's like these are obviously different audiences. So
Sure.
like one's like very very aggressive, and the other's like fanciful and stuff like that. Goop even calls things like magic potions and pixie dust and stuff like that. Like the
Wow.
names are kind of crazy. But I like this one a lot. So they both sell this product, which is derived from a root called maca, M-A-C-A. Goop sells it as moon juice, sex dust.
Ooh.
Oh.
Sex dust is a lusty edible formula alchemized to ignite and excite sexy energy in and out of the bedroom. Well, I don't know where else you're doing it if you're not doing it in the bedroom.
Well,
Right.
you
That's what it's
sometimes
for.
you can't contain yourself. That's so powerful. Yep.
And
Maca.
then InfoWars sells it as super male vitality.
Super male vitality. It's my all meat beef
I
diet.
should have you read this. As men age,
I'm just doing an imitation of Colbert as his character.
as men age, they may
I'm
often
a man.
experience
I eat meat.
a
fight for
slowdown
my
in
freedom.
vitality, energy, and overall wellness. Super male vitality is specifically designed to assist the body in regulating power.
Wow.
And it's used by Alex
You gotta
Jones.
regulate your power.
It's been used by Alex Jones himself in order to maximize vitality when working up to 12 hours per day or more.
And his
and
red
fighting
face.
for freedom.
Is he G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
Okay,
What is he?
It's fighting for our freedom.
All right.
So-
I get it.
Is he short
Speaking-
fuse? Is that his character, Jared?
Speaking of InfoWars,
Bazooka.
earlier this week, NASA had to deny a story that InfoWars published that it has a child slave colony on Mars.
Yeah.
God.
So I'm not even going to read the gist of it, but just
Like
wanted to,
I think I saw a tweet about that, and
yeah.
I sort of just overlooked it because it seemed like an Onion tweet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Not the Onion, though. This is a thing.
This is real.
Oh, I mean, Alex Jones.
This
the
is a
same
guy
one.
who visits the White House on the regular, by the way.
Remember when Obama was from Mars and had been sent back here in time?
It's like all the worst National Enquirer, and National Enquirer's back in the news, but all of their worst stories from the 80s.
We could do a whole show on what's happened in the last couple days.
Yeah, it's insane
All right.
and sad.
Two more sad. Two more things.
Make it brief.
Wow. And we're at like 42 minutes, guys. Come on.
Just these are shows coming back.
Oh,
I just
sweet.
wanted to mention this.
Yep.
We can talk about it a little bit. Rick and Morty season 3.
Okay.
We finally have a real date for it, July 30th.
Okay.
Is that, I hear people talking about the show. I don't know anything about it. What's the deal with it?
It's a fantastic show. It's like if
Back to the Future meets
Sure. Back to the Future meets Futurama. Like you
meets
know
a
how,
Terminator.
Sure. All these things.
There's time travel involved.
I say
If
if you
you could
watch
sprinkle a little My Little Pony in there, I mean,
none of that.
All right.
If you watch the first 4 episodes of it, I think you get the gist. They're 30-minute episodes, so it's 22-minute episodes. So
Can I see this on Netflix?
probably?
Can I see this on demand?
I mean,
maybe?
it's a Cartoon Network show, right? Is that what Rick and Morty's on?
Don't
Adult Swim, maybe? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm a
that's-
grown up. I don't watch
right.
cartoons.
So I think it's free if on their website.
Right. Okay.
And You're the Worst is coming back September 6th with an hour-long episode.
Exciting stuff.
Yay. I love that show.
Well, fantastic read of the news, Adam. But guess what? We're not done because we've got coming soon. Keep shining, Adam. Keep shining.
Oh, Shining is another
The
product
Shinning.
sold on Goop. I can read you about that one too.
Oh, my goodness.
For eye health.
We could all use a little more
For
of that.
eye health.
We could all use a little more of that.
All right, these are things.
Sadly, these all sound like things that are sold by my present employer. So
His present employer is Goop.
Oh,
no, but they are.
Say
in,
no
they
more,
are
Jared.
in the
Jared,
the
you love your job.
health
Shut
and
up.
beauty sales
Shut up,
space.
Jared. You love your job. You love your job. Adam, and we love coming soon. So
Yeah.
tell us, what is coming soon?
okay. This I had a hard time picking mine this week. So,
Okay.
let's see. Coming soon for the week of July 2nd. We've got music from
So, holiday week.
Lee Hyrie, maybe Ash Riser, Broken Social Scene, MOD, Public Enemy. I saw
MOD, really?
yeah, Busted, Broke, and American. Public Enemy.
Quick MOD story.
Okay.
This is a weird like metal band from, as far as I know, the late '80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the tapes we played loudly when I was probably 16, and we would hang out late at the Suburban World Theater in Uptown drinking beer.
Nice.
MOD was your jam.
Not as good as POD because
No.
MOD did not have the theme song to the XFL.
Well, dare to dream. Dare to dream.
Let's see. Public Enemy. I saw Jared.
I'm just
posted a thing
I'm
on Facebook about
I'm
that
making a
this
note
week.
that there was actually an XFL reference here. I mean, that's a shocker.
Let's see. Public service broadcasting.
Yeah, you mentioned Public Enemy.
Yeah.
New album.
You
Free.
mentioned it.
Free on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Go listen.
What do you think?
It's pretty good.
All right. There's your review. How many?
It's pretty good. I liked it.
Scope score. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Let's see.
2.5.
7 Streeter and 10. It's music. We've got movies.
We do.
A Ghost Story and Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yes. What day does that come out? Friday, right?
I
The
think
7th.
Friday.
Yep.
What are we?
7-7.
The reviews on Metacritic, I think it had it at about an 80.
That's good.
That's good. So
Yeah, I think we will probably catch it the following Monday since we have Convergence. It'll be tough to.
Convergence feels like it's a week later this year because
It's always
where July 4th is.
Yeah. It's just kind of where it hits.
Yep. It's a weird thing.
Home video releases: Balto, Car Dogs.
We love Balto, the animated dog movie.
Spark: A Space Tale. It's AIL, so it's tail. Song to Song and The Zookeeper's Wife. I don't recognize any of those movies. Video games. Oh, this is a bad 3 weeks for video games, by the way. We've got That's You! For the PS4.
Right.
Kirby's Blowout Blast for the 3DS.
Whoa. Somebody got into the fiber.
They are still making 3DS games.
Sponsored by Pepto.
Let's see. For the PS4 and PS Vita, we have XL World versus Star Art Online.
It'd be better if it was XFL World.
I don't-
XFL, the comeback. Adam's favorite game of 2017.
And Fable Fortune, which is a game in the Fable series of games.
Well, it doesn't sound like we need any of that garbage.
I don't think so.
That's until we get a proper Fable sequel, I'm not interested.
We're not. But you know what I am interested in, guys?
What?
Hit it or miss it.
Hit it or miss it. Hit of the week. Hit it or miss it. Miss of the week. Look out!
Another perfect transition. Adam, it's your week to pick your hit and or miss. Tell us.
Well, it's
really just
it's a musical pick this week.
Oh.
We're all excited. There's not a lot of Jewish representation in pop music these
And
days.
thank God for that, right?
But this trio of ladies came out a couple years ago with their album. And Chaim has a new album coming out this week.
I love their first single, and they've had a couple of audio only YouTube videos released. I don't know if they're singles, but they're other songs on this album, and I've liked them too. So
excited for this.
So get ready for Chaim. What's the name of that album, Adam?
It's called Something to Tell You.
They had a nice appearance on SNL in May, I believe, at the end of the season. So people love them. People love Chaim.
Yeah.
And so does Adam. And so does the Scope.
Under the scope.
Jared,
here it is.
pull this boat into the dock. Let's
All right.
do it.
Well, actually, we've actually got a boat to talk about. Not only a boat, but we actually have a voicemail. A friend of the show, Luke Ski, called in.
The only guy anymore that ever gives us. Remember when we used to get voicemails from other people too?
Not really.
Every once in a while we would.
Luke is definitely in 90% of our calls.
Good for Luke, though. Keep it to it. Keep doing it, Luke.
Yeah. So this was from a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure how dated it is, but this I think is in reference to our TV summer or TV wrap up that you and I did, episode 256. So here we go.
Hey, this is Luke Ski. I'm calling in live from the 101. So I wanted to let you know, first of all, that I, Luke Ski, have joined the Television Academy, which means I am now an Emmy voter. So when I listen to the Scope,
He has a pause in his car.
the highly informed opinions of the Scope hosts will be swaying my vote towards what should, get my vote for Emmys and stuff. So, keep up the good work, and hopefully shows that you like will end up getting my vote and winning all those fabulous awards. Secondly, I am so glad they're going to be done with those stupid flashbacks on Arrow. Oh my God, I have not cared about any of them for the past 2 seasons.
Agree.
I'm so glad they're over. Anyway, yeah, that's it. When, you hear this episode, when you do another episode, in October, finally.
July.
You'll probably not even use this. But have a great summer.
Joke's on you. We used it. I agree, Luke, 100%. Those flashbacks have been annoying.
How do they kill the flashbacks?
It basically caught up to where it needed to catch up to with the present storyline.
Okay.
It's no longer relevant.
They had a flashback of like 5 minutes before what
No.
actually happened in the show, and then it was done. It all converged.
It was more like the two storylines were sort of converging to the same place, but at different times. And so the flashback kind of got there, and then the present storyline got there, and now there's no need for the flashbacks. We've sort of all the gaps have been filled in, so they're
There you
done.
go. That's a game you could have in the Super NES Classic. Flashback.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I played that on my Amiga.
Were they like called Flash TM backs? Because it's like Flash is in the name. Okay.
Either of you don't watch Arrow? Adam,
No,
did you watch
I
Arrow?
don't watch Arrow.
All right, well, that's just me then. Thanks,
You
thanks,
and Luke.
Thanks, Luke. And yeah, so now we have an in with the Emmy, the body of voting with Luke, so we can sway him.
Well, once that shared baby universe kicks into high gear, we're going to push hard. It's going to be a TV.
Is the shared baby universe and the shared non-traditional parenting universe, are they one and the same?
They all merge together. They all merge together.
Boy, at some point you think we're all just going to live in the same universe. Imagine when they all come together.
It's like Crisis on Infinite Earths, but instead of it just being superheroes, it's everything.
Right.
It comes together.
All right. If you have an opinion on shared universes, make sure you call in like Luke Ski did to 612-21-SCOPE. That is 612-217-2673. Or email us, comments@thescopeshow.com. You can also reach us on social media. We are on Facebook and on Twitter. Those links are on our website, thescopeshow.com. Hey, thanks for listening. But if you'd like to watch the show, we also do a video version of it most of the time. And that is posted over on YouTube, youtube.com/thescopeshow, also linked from our website. And if you'd like to support the show, like our high dollar patrons, brand new patron Michael,
Yeah.
and long running patron Kevin, I'm now throwing out the perks that we promised we would do when people pledge more than $1 per episode. You can do so over at patreon.com/thescopeshow. It is the service where you can support content creators directly. You can pledge as little as $1 an episode, set a monthly cap, and cancel anytime. We've had one or two cancellations lately, but we've had new patrons sign up. So
Here's the thing.
maybe you want to be one of them.
This is the longest running and best podcast out there. Both.
There you go.
It's one or both of those.
Yes.
Or none.
Now, we keep costs low by doing it in my basement, but it's not free. So if you feel like supporting the show on a regular basis, do that at Patreon. You can also support us by shopping at Amazon. I know you're doing a lot of summer shopping, right, Shane?
Of course.
You got to stock up on Speedos and pool floats.
Mostly pool floats in my Speedo.
There is
So I don't have to put them on my arm. I just wrap them
there's-
around my Speedo belly.
there's a cool inflatable Millennium Falcon one that if I had a pool, I would have that. But I
Who
don't have a
needs-
pool, so I don't need it.
Just have it, throw it in your backyard, and just sit in the grass.
Sure. Sounds like fun. The bunnies can come up and nibble at it.
Yeah.
You can shop at Amazon, thescopeshow.com/Amazon. There is an affiliate link on there. Click on that. You're shuffled away to Amazon where you can shop to your heart's content, and a small portion of your sale will go into our pockets. Doesn't cost you anything. Just a simple way to support the show. That's all I got. Shane, back to you.
Terrific read. Adam, thanks for being back in the studio. Jared, you put this all together like a champion every time we do this.
Wow, what a champion.
Thank you very much. So for Jared and Adam, this has been episode 257 of The Scope. We'll be back next week with more Scope and more goodness. So until then, bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. The days shall pass as if they were but a moment, and Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode.